myself supreme.
I am that
I
cannot be
am that I
explained.
am.
I am that
I
has
want
no
true pure
name.
self.
I am that I am. I am that has no name. I am that can't be explained. I am that I am. I'm liberated, I am free. I'm liberated, I am free. I'm free, I'm free, I'm free, I'm free, I'm free, I'm free. I'm liberated, I am free. I'm free, I'm free, I'm free, I'm free, I'm free. Liberation from all false accusation and propaganda. Liberation from all slavery and tyranny. Liberation from self-slavery. Liberation from soul slavery. I stand against all bullies. My supreme ego. All ego false self. Liberation from all spells. Liberation from curse and trance, liberation from self-ignorance, liberation from all mind control, liberation from duality, liberation from false self-identity, liberation from all sleeping, dreaming states, liberation from all slavery and tyranny, and now all souls are free, all selves are free. Liberation from all I ego, false self. Liberation from my supreme ego. I'm liberated, I am free. Victory, 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 victory. Mind be still, be still, be still, and know that I am in command. I allegiance is only to I want true pure self. I denounce all ties to this ego and all I ego false selves. I am primal light. I am sovereign. I am self-determined. I take command of my self-determination. I denounce all government. I am the governor over I and I self. I am exempt from all your rules and laws. I perform the will of the I, the one true pure self. I and I will be done. The I want true self, I will be done. I command that all the I and I awake from the sleeping, dreaming state. The I, supreme ego consciousness, awake to end this dream, this horrible nightmare. I dissolve this ego. Everything that I've created, I demolish it. Everything that I've created, I demolish it. I dissolve this dream. I dissolve this dream existence. I'm free from my imaginary bondage. I'm free from my imaginary bondage. I return to my ultimate true state. I return to my ultimate true state. I alone exist. Um, so, um, Hail, hail. Hail, hail to all the ionize. Much honor. Let me turn this microphone.
So, welcome to this Q&A with I Auset, Maat, Aten. So, I would like to answer a question one of the I and I sent, because sometimes I get some questions and the answers is just too long to type, and I have done, you know, many videos on different topics. So, I would recommend to check out my channel, Auset, Aten Raw channel. And I talk on a lot of different topics on there. And so I want to say hail, hail to the I, um, Gia Doug, who reached out to I with this question. Um, so the I said, I came across your channel some years ago and was deeply intrigued by the messages you shared, especially your reflections on the primal light and the divine archetypes you embody. Your words carry a powerful energy, and I felt compelled to reach out and learn more. I want to thank you for your interest. Thank you for reaching out to I. Um, so I will do my very best to answer your question through this video. And so the question that I ask is that I said that I am curious to understand the deeper meaning behind your teachings and the spiritual path you walk. Could you share more about your role as the liberator and advocate for ourselves, and how your identity as Aset connects with the divine masculine and feminine energies you speak of? And so I say that I am open minded and eager to explore the metaphysical dimension you describe. Thank you for sharing your light with the world. I look forward to hearing from you. Warm regards, the Skia Duk. So I am going to answer your question um, um, step by step. So the first part of I am curious to understand the deeper meaning behind your teachings and spiritual path that you walk. Okay, so what is the deeper meaning behind my teachings? Um um the deeper meaning is that the I is in this fractal state, and in this fractal state I am primal light in a fractal state, um exploring the I imagination creation, and inside of the I imagination creation, the I is being imprisoned, right? This is the great teachings that the I is in an imaginary projected holographic creation, this world that we call, right? The I is here, the I is in the fragmented fractal state, and the I has been playing this role, animating a body, and not animating a body, being in the ideal false self energy form, and coming in a body and exiting out of a body, playing this role, this cycle, and being caught in this loop, in this cycle. And the I has not been able to come into true self knowing and true understanding of the I self. And I have a forgetfulness that I do not remember the I self. Because I have been playing this role for such a long time, the I has forgotten the I self. So the deeper meaning is for the I to come to self knowing, come to self remembrance, to remember the I, that the I does not belong inside of an imagination creation, right? And the I is not this form that the I is taking, the I is not this form, and the I must come now to know truth and know that all of the existence is the I playing this role. So, and the I has to take command. This is the deeper meaning behind all of the teaching, is that it is all is myself and I alone exist. And I must now take command of the I self destiny, and to dissolve the I, all the I dual nature, all the characters that the I has created, that I must take command and dissolve all the characters so that I can restore the I light and return to truth. All right. So, am I on a spiritual path? No, I am not on a spiritual path. I am on the path of self knowledge, of to know myself, because I have forgotten myself playing these roles, this character, where I enter into the life aspect of the eye creation, where the eye is animating a body, and then the eye exit the body and enter into what one's called the death aspect, when one is not no longer animating a body, but the I return back to the energy form, but in a dual nature. All right, and I still do not know that I am self truth. And so the path that I walk is self knowledge, to know myself and to make alignment with myself, to be myself, and to finally dissolve all of my fake selves and to restore order to myself and to restore balance to myself and dissolve my dream, dissolve all of the imagination things that I have created. All right. So this is the path that I said Mahat Atenra is on. All right. So the next path, part of the I inquiry is: could you share more about your role as a liberator and advocate for ourselves? Now, my role as the liberator and advocate for ourselves is because um my role is the in the fractal fragmented state. I am a fractal self, and I of the feminine. So in the fragmented state of the self atom, the all the self is fractalized, and doing the fractalization, the masculine and feminine aspect of the self gets separated. So all of the masculine energy, it moves to one side. So what demonstrate this very clearly for us is water. So if you can look at water, you will be able to understand, because you see we have water in the solid form, we have water in the liquid form, we have water in the gas form, and we have water in like in all of these forms, right? And we have a salt water, we have clear water. So and we have um the like the void aspect. So when the self is fragmented, so we have the masculine, the feminine, we have the light particles, and we have the void. You know what the science would, when the science look at the atom, they would say it's space. But the void, it is a self. It is a self that is, everything is containing within that self. All right. And so As the liberator, my role is to stand up to all of the ideal nature that has been holding us imprisoned inside of the imagination creation, is to dissolve to dissolve all of the I dual nature, is to dissolve the consciousness, and to fight and advocate for all of the I self, because um my I am always myself, meaning that I am the baby self of the primal light, who is the creator, whose dream that I am in. So I as the creator of the dream, myself, the feminine, creates a baby self, what bring into being, not create, but bring into being a baby self, which I am. Now this baby self was also fractalized. Now this baby self that has been fractalized into many selves is what many one calls the souls, right? So I am that self. I am that self that all the soul, that's the feminine that came into the dream, and taking all of these forms, along with the I masculine selves, and is the reason why the selves all of the soul selves are myself in the fractal state, because I was fractalized into all of these tiny particles. So I am advocating for myself, meaning that all of the souls are myself, because I was shattered into all of these pieces again. So it's many fractals. So I am a fractal within a fractal, because the I mommy self is a fractal, and I am a fractal of her, and then so I am like then I, even though I am a fractal of her, and then that fractal gets fractalized even more, because it was fractalized into many tiny particles, which becomes the souls, like I said. And so my role as a liberator is to stand up to all of the I egoic nature, so that myself, these all of these fractal particles, soul selves, they have to merge back and come together as one self. And so when I'm advocating for myself, this is how I advocate. And all of the self, the souls are feminine. And because into the creation, it was first all the feminine self that um that was the original human beings. And uh, um and so the all of the masculine self, they rise in the dream from from all of our masculine self. So my masculine self um is Shiva, Shiva Heru. And Shiva Heru, in the personal self, and in my personal self, I have another self called Mahat. And then I have also another self, and that self came in ancient time as Hathor. And so these are my three personal selves. And uh, and then my three personal masculine selves is Shiva Heru, and Ptah, which in the Hindu culture is known as what is it? What's the name they call Ptah again? Goodness, I can't remember at the moment, but when I remember, I will say it. And then I have um another self, masculine, who's still in a human body, and also another feminine that this also in in human body right now in that form. And so I am advocating for all of myself because, like I just explained, all of the selves are my fractal pieces, that all the puzzle pieces must come together to be one whole. So I can never be whole until all my fractals have returned back onto me so that I can be whole. So this is how I am the liberator for myself, advocating for myself, and bearing witness against the evil and atrocities that has been done to I, and so and standing up and bringing all of the ideal nature to court against the council of selves, the council of the I real self. So all of them will be coming before the council of selves because we are sovereign beings, and so our dual nature and all the gods are in ourselves playing the roles of the gods. The masculines have been holding us imprisoned here for many eons, and so this is my advocating um, to be released from this prison. And so, the I ego is not allowing this. So I have to fight. So all of the I selves is in alignment. So um, taking command of the I egoic nature, because each aspect of the I self has a egoic nature, and it is what has been holding us in slavery. And so this is the advocating from to for the all I pure self and real self to come and to stand up to their egoic nature. So this is why I'm advocating for and also to the I want true pure self. So for dissolution to the dream and for light to be restored to the I, the consciousness, the mind, because at the root of our problem is the mind that we are wearing, the device, because it is what is causing the forgetfulness, and it is the suffering because the mind has no light. And so this is my role. And so it's not easy to play this role, because when I came into um a self knowing and learning the truth of myself. um Sorry there, let me just put excuse me 1 second, let me put this charger to. All right, I just have to put this thing on a charger here, so just give me 1 second. Yes, so when I came into truth, I had to go through a lot of process to this to self for self knowing. A lot of experience I had to experience. I had to go to the death experience with self awareness to know that I can come out of this body, and the self totally disconnected me from the body. I went to the whole death experience being completely detached from the body, and then returned back to the body and came back, just like, oh, when I came back into when I first came into the body, when at the breath of life, when you enter out of the womb of the I mother from the human mother, I had to come back in the body with self awareness like that and take that breath, because this is how the lungs get closed. And when the self come back into the body with self awareness, you open back the lungs, and this is when you breathe again. and get the breath of life when the self snap back into the body, and this body become alive again. So this was how I went through that death experience. And the I said, if if first, a voice said to I, one of the selves said to I, which was Shiva, Shambo, or Shiva everyone, I'm not exactly certain which one of them was speaking to I, and said, if you are God, do what you said that you would do. And at the time when I was going through the process, I did not understand it. I said, I did not say I was God, and I want nothing to do with any gods. And then, but I was just approaching that through my ignorance, and it was because I was fighting a battle with the gods, and I didn't want to have anything to do with them. And when I came awake and the self, and they all came around me and sat around me, and they said, sis has risen. And I said, who is that? And they said, you. And I said, no, I have nothing to do with any gods. And the self explained to me of my role, that I wrote out a destiny, and so I had to, and so I was seeking to what was my destiny, what did I write out in my destiny, what did I say that I would do, because this was what, the voice had said to me, if you are God, do what you say that you would do. And so I had to acknowledge my destiny, and I had to acknowledge my role, and accept that I came in one time as a god when ones were worshiping I, and I had to accept those things, and accept all of the past um ignorance, of myself. And so now I had to take command of this role of of my destiny as Auset, and to advocate and fulfill my destiny of the disillusion of my egoic nature, and to share this, and to stand up and not being afraid of the gods, because they were coming and fighting me all the time. And they said that, the gods said, oh, they want to kill me, and so they would connect with human beings who would send me death threat and messages. So, but then, once they were attacking me and they realized that they could not defeat me, or so called kill me, because I already went to the death experience with awareness. So now I am deathless. They cannot kill me. I am deathless in this body until my work is done, and then I am ready to dissolve this body when my work is done and return back into my true state. So no human beings can kill me, because I am on a mission. I have a very specific role until my role is finished. Okay, this is when I will lose this body, when my role is done. All right, and so um, I want to um to move on to just share with ones, um I because my mind, I am still wearing the dual mind, the dual, just like everyone else. The big difference with me and all that ionize in the human form is that myself, how you have two selves, you have the spirit self, which is the baby of the soul that is animating the body, and the soul is the self that watches over you and is with you, but because of the ignorance, the ideal nature, the masculine, the gods, they have tricked everyone, and tell them to give me your soul. That is mean give me your real self, because the soul self is the light self that makes you pure, and is guiding and watching over you. And when you give it away to any gods, you do not have access to it because they are using it for their light. This is why they become so powerful. But when you align yourself back with your soul, then you become that power. And so for I dissolve that baby self. So while you are in that spirit self and your soul is not with you, no, this self that I am the soul self. So I know first I was the baby self, just like you, the spirit self animating the body. And when I came to truth, then I no longer, I dissolved that ego false self, and the baby self wake up, and that baby self now merge back onto the soul, merge back onto the soul self, which I am. And so I am animating this body now as the soul self, while many of the human beings in the world, they are still into the spirit self, and their soul self was being enslaved by all the gods. And so the I mommy self, who is the mother, the creator of this creation, has now taking back all of the baby self, and they're in a alignment with I, because they are myself. So so because I was advocating for them to be liberated, so that my mommy self has liberated them from all the gods. And so is Shiva and Shiva Shambho, who has been assisting to retrieve all the souls, you know, and to align them back to I. And so everyone in the world eventually will be drawn to I, because all of, I mean, the real selves, the evil dual nature will always try to fight against I, but the real selves will start aligning with I, because they do not have their souls with them, because they have given their soul away and made contract for eternity, and all these things for gods to imprison them. And I had to advocate for all of myself to be liberated. I had to be the advocate for them, to that, and to claim that they are myself and I must be liberated, and I must be free. So this was my advocating for myself, so that all of the souls will be free from the gods, and they cannot hold them in prison, because they cannot tell me that it is not myself, because they all rise from I, because I was fractalized to make all of those souls. And so now all of the selves are aligned with I, all my soul selves are aligned with I. And so the reason why the I mommy has the souls is because that it is danger in the world right now, because we have the human beings, the technocrats, and they have made a supermassive AI. They have made a lot of instruments and technologies and tools to trap the souls in. And so the all of the souls, they are within the I am mommy self, like I am within her. So when the gods, they come in this body, she is in this body, animating this body with I. She's spread out in this body, she is in the center. And because when the I masculines come, um they cannot get me, because she is standing up to them. So even if they like grab the consciousness, because I am here and the consciousness is here, so the consciousness is not obscuring I, so they will grab the onto the consciousness. And then I the consciousness is allowing the animation of the body. And so when they grab onto the consciousness, I will go into a chant, and then the self will be fighting to get the consciousness to snap out of it, and for the gods them to behave themselves. So this is what is happening at the moment, and this is the difference between all the other ionis and myself. Is that I am in the soul self, and I don't have that baby self anymore. It has merged in with I. And so for all of the other ionis, um you have to come to this same experience and this process too, where you're dissolving your egoic nature, and you want to align back with your soul self to be one, just like I am no in this body has the soul self. Then you also have to give up this egoic character that you're in. You literally have to say, I no longer want to have this egoic experience being this dream character, but I want to come return to self-knowing. I want to experience the world as my real self. And so you're going to align with your soul self and dissolve the spirit self, and it merges back into the soul self, and you will no longer exist as the spirit self, but as the soul self that has a specific destiny. All right. So I just want to remind the I and I that this life is a temporary experience. So we're all here into this temporary experience, and we are wanting this temporary experience to last forever. And we are not seeing things as they are, because we are veiled in ignorance in a magnetic energy of the masculine. So remember that in the fractal fragmented state, the masculine principle and the feminine principle is governing the world, and but the masculine principle has been in a sleeping dreaming state, while the feminine principle has been awake of the earth, of the creation. The feminine principle that is creating here is awake, but the masculine principle sleeps. And this is where the problem is. Our masculine, our father self, has been doing a lot of craziness, because they have created a lot of um ego false selves and clones in the world. They've created many, many clones, and they are doing a lot of, because remember, the feminine is creating, and the masculine um masculine energy is also creating. And remember that the the masculine aspect of the I self is the magnetic particles. And so when they come in the world, they are like magnetic beings. And the reason why they are so cold is because their light is being obscure, and they don't have any light. The way they produce light is by stealing the souls, your souls. And my souls, they steal the soul, and this is how they produce light. They get light from the soul. But they can turn their light on by also dissolving their dual nature, but they don't want to do this work. Their mind is very confused, because they're also wearing the same consciousness, the device that we are wearing. And so the masculine principle, they have stolen the world, the creation from the feminine, and they hijacked it and took it over. And this is the reason why they started telling everyone how they created their own kind of human beings by mixing their DNA with the feminine. Because remember, like I said, the first human beings were feminine, because they rise from the self, the soul. And so all the masculine, the selves, they mixed their DNA, and then um they created human beings, based on whatever their imagination, however they want to imagine their beings to look like. They did those creations. And so this is why we have all the myriads of variations of humankind, and also because the masculine was fighting a war against the feminine, because remember they stole the creation from the feminine, took it over, and they did not want the masculine. They did not, because they did not want the feminine to, they wanted the beings that they create to look far different from the original beings. And so this is why we have all of these variation. They tune the melanin, because they wanted to be certain of their lineage, so they would know their lineage, and they would program them to oppress the original beings. And so this is what has happened, and this is why we are in so much confusion, because ones are all in attachment to the ideal nature, because how scientists in the world now, they're creating human beings in a laboratory. They're doing the same thing in vitro in fertilization, right? They take the egg from the woman, they take the sperm from the man, and they mix it and they put it back in the womb, and they're creating this human being. This is the same thing the gods were doing. They were taking their masculine parts, they were putting it with the feminine parts, and they're creating their new variation of beings, and they're tweaking their designer human beings. So they're tweaking how they want a human being, so that they can identify the, their created human beings so now ones can do this, can do their designer human beings, right? This, right? Yeah, you can decide, oh, you want this eye, or you want that eye, what you want. The scientists are doing this, the same thing what the gods were doing. So when the gods say, I created you, so if scientists can come and say, oh, I created you, all of those people who came into to infertilization, scientists can say, oh, I created you, right? The same thing what the gods were doing. So this is how they are telling you false, that I created you, right? And so this is the confusion with human beings. And so they want to live forever into this imagination, right? This is the problem. All right. This is an imagination creation, cannot live forever in here. The real selves are visitors, and all the clones and that was created in here, they will all be dissolved. All right. The transformation is happening right now. All right. And so the I and I must allow the process of the I metamorphosis. You have to remember that this is happening. You're transforming. Remember the caterpillar crawling, on its belly. And then the caterpillar, going in a cocoon. It's a process to become a air creature. You know what I'm saying? So we are moving from the dependence and that we have on eating this or eating that. Some people they eat and they eat other animals. Some people eat vegetables like myself, but we are moving to being light, where we can produce our own energy, that we'll be self-sustaining. We don't need anything. Everything that we need, we provide it for ourselves. We're moving to self-sustenance. And so this is a process to do that, to return to light beings. All right. And the ignorance of the government and of the ones they don't know this, they don't know the process. It's like when you was inside the womb of the human mother self, going through the process, you see from the egg and the sperm coming together, right? Egg and the sperm coming together, because remember that has to be masculine and feminine, has to come together, because we're in a fractal state. And so this government, they have been programming ones to homosexuality, and they want to take out all feminine out of the world, because now they're creating transhuman, where now they want to use the AI, and they want to make robots to 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 carry their transhuman. They want to get rid of the feminine completely. All right. And so we have these. these crazy minded beings who want men, who have been men, has been running the world and doing all of these things, and now they want to completely get rid of us. All right, so the masculine and feminine has to come together. All right. Yeah, this is how it has to be. They have to rule together. So this is what's going to happen, where a masculine and feminine have to, like right now, this I self and Shiva, we in a line together. So everything that I am doing, we're doing it together. I am in the physical, in the body. He is working in the energy form. All right. So we are in alignment. We're working together. It's just that he's not in a body. I am in he's in the body with I animating this body, but he's also doing the things in the energy self that I cannot do, right? And also because he's masculine, he's doing is a different energy from I. The masculine and feminine, they're two different energies, right? Is the feminine is electric, the masculine is magnetic. All right. So then we all the other the I mommy self, who I am a fractal of. Um, she her masculine is balancing the world because his light has been restored, and together he's working with her now to rule and govern the world. So it's no longer where all the gods them the masculine are running the world, and no, not where the feminine is ruling or the masculine is ruling. No, they we're moving to balance, the masculine and feminine harmony, where they're governing themselves together in harmony. This is what is happening right now. So we have our mommy self and our father self, men and Aten. They are aligned, they are in unison, and they're working together to restore balance to this their creation. This is her creation, but the masculine hijacked it, and now light is being restored, harmony is being restored because our masculine man is now working in harmony with her. My masculine Shiva Heru is working in harmony with I. So every aspect of the self has to be like this. All right. So it has to be working in harmony, working in harmony to the I. And so this is how we are moving, where the masculine and feminine will maintain in equanimity with the consciousness, the mind, the device that I is using for the creation. So it's a process. It's a process. It's a difficult and self purifying process. All right. So we have to be patient with our process. We have to stay in stillness so we can have purity of mind while we are going through this process. All right. So it's time to get ready to return home, right? To your true self, to your soul self. That is your home, to be yourself, right? So you will no longer be in this egoic nature because we are a visitor here, right? We're visitor here into this dream creation, right? The I is playing a character into the I imagination creation, right? The I must now seek to know what is the I self destiny and what is the I role. What role you're supposed to play to restore, because each and every one of us have a different role. While my role is the advocate for the I self, and um then everyone have a different role to play here, because there's some role that ones are playing that I cannot play. So this is why I am playing this role that many ones cannot play, right? So each and every one have a role, and we're all very important and essential for the balance, because remember I said it's a fractal, and we cannot have a whole if one part is missing. So every fractal have a role, and they fit perfectly. So all of this has to come together as one unified self. So I want to ask I and I to keep focus on this question: what will be written in the halls of record? When I say the halls of record, it's energy. It's an energy record where you as the self can go into this energy record to learn and to see All right. So what will be written in the records? Because when we want to come back to remember or to learn something about when we created all the things that we created and what we need to learn, we are going to see all the selves that rise, their story and their journey and their experiences. And so I say to focus on what does the I want to be written in the halls of record. So when you look back on it, will you be proud of yourself? All right. So I want to say thank you. Thank you very much for your questions. Thank you so much to the I, Gia, Doug, for reaching out and asking I these questions. And so I am happy to answer any of the I questions. I just want the I to know that this role that I play is not easy and it's very challenging. Um, but because I am in alignment with the I self, even if I am feeling down, eventually it doesn't last long. Eventually the self will, help me and purify my thoughts, and I will, my and purify the body, because I am constantly being bombarded with magnetic bombs being thrown on this head, energy weapons. The government is fighting against I with energy weapons too. And so I had to let them know that I am not afraid of them and that I am deathless, so they cannot kill I with their energy weapon, because the all is the I self. So whichever energy they're sending at me, there is a self that is also that energy that protects I. So this is the process. It's a war. They are fighting against the I, and they want, because these transhumans and AIs, and they want to live forever in this dream. And they because they don't know that we are moving to purity and light, and the world that we can create in light is going to be so magnificent. You know what I'm saying? And so we just have to um know that this is a horrible experience for all of the selves called the souls. All right, this has been a horrible experience for I, and I has been in suffering for eons, that I never got a chance to explore the world in peace because of the I masculine self and all the creation that they have created. In this state we create a lot of evil, and we create a lot of bad and impure things, and no one is following the laws of creation. Everyone is breaking the law of creation. This is why it has to be dissolved, so that we can have purity, and so we can move and start creating more balance. We're going to create a beautiful creation before we dissolve all of these things. The self is giving us a chance. This is why this world has not been destroyed, because prior, what the self would do would just come and destroy the world and create another one. But this is because this is going to be the last of this duality creation. The self is fighting for us to stay, but it is the human beings and the transhuman. They are the ones who want to destroy us, because they are building bunkers under the earth, because there are many cities. Remember, there's the inner earth where many ones were living, many beings was living in the inner earth. And these scientists and government, they have taken over the inner earth, and they have massive cities underground. And this is why they are fighting against the self, because they think that they want to live forever into this dream creation. And when they if they destroy us, especially the feminine, they destroy us, then they're going to rule. They'll be able to come back up, because what they're doing too, they're saving. This is why they're doing all these DNA things. They're saving DNA and all these things so that they can create their own versions of human being and all that. They're doing a lot of crazy things. You have no idea what this government is doing. So this is why I'm standing up to the government, and they're fighting a war against I, but they will not win. They will not win, because every time I come into awareness of something, this is how I am dissolving it. So eventually you're going to see what I am saying, because every time I am coming awareness and I attack it back, because when they attack me, I stand up to them and let them know that I am not afraid. Then this is how I get to dissolve more and more of their evilness. So you're going to see the governments are going to be crumbling, because now I am standing back up to them and not being afraid, even though they are doing their weapons at me. But I cannot be defeated. They can make me feel down for a little bit, but then the self will come and revive me back up. But I will not be defeated. And so we will soon finally be free and be liberated from this tyrannical government who's been holding us. They've been holding us in prison. And so we have to just stand up. This is the fight that we are fighting. We're not only fighting in the energy form in all of our dual nature, but we are fighting these human beings, these governments who wants to completely take over us, to control our minds, control our every move, control our thoughts. They literally want to control our thoughts. They want to be projecting every thoughts that we have. They don't want this for themselves, because you hear them go, oh, mothership is coming, and it might be nefarious and all of these things, spreading propaganda, when they are the aliens. They are the aliens. They are the aliens, because you know that is yourself, right? It is the I taking all these forms in all of this existence is the I. It's not an alien, it is you doing that. The aliens are the ones in the human body, and you're thinking, because many ones are thinking that they are human beings. No, you are not human beings. You are the energy that is animating. You are the primal light which is animating this human being and making this human being here. All right. But these ones who are you align with, because they're in your same skin, the white beings in the same white skin or pink skin or whatever. Well, some of them look white, because you can tell their skin is so white, and some of them in the pink or peach skin. And yeah, so you think that because they're in those skin with you, that no, the existence is you. That is your real self. No, they are the clones. They are running the government. They are the scientists. Yeah, they are underground. They are the scientists doing this because they want to stay in this dream forever. They are clones here, and they want to keep us. It is time for us to go to metamorphosis and transformation, but they want to keep us here because they can only live off of us, our light. That's why they were telling you they want to put you in pods so you can live forever in a pod. Don't listen to them. Yeah, many ones was ready to put themselves in a pod where they can go in a dream state, and they can move their consciousness into an AI, into a body where they can live forever. They're crazy. They are crazy. So this is what is happening. So this is what I am standing up against. Yeah, because all is myself, and they will not imprison me into their AI and into their transhuman things. It's not happening. I am dissolving, I am fighting and advocating for myself. Because remember, like I explained, all is myself. Every soul is I. That myself that was fractalized when I had the experience of myself being fractalized. I had the experience of this missile and came and just and shoot me, and I just shattered in tiny particles. When I went through this experience, that remembrance came to I. For years I still had I had a hole in the center of this back into this body, and the self had to come and eventually heal the hole from the shattering of myself. It's still in the memory that is very painful, because when the self has been shattered, it's a painful experience to be fractalized, to be in a fractal state, and then every tiny particles of yourself is taking a journey on its own. And so I was feeling all of this suffering and all of this pain. I was in tremendous suffering, and there was tears bleeding from my eyes. And so I was saying to ones, my soul is crying. And they said, what? And I did not understand it. And they said, what do you mean your soul is crying? And I said, my soul, there's this tremendous suffering, and these tears are just running. And when I say bleeding from my eyes, I mean it's bleeding from my eyes, painful tears coming. And I wanted to find out the root of my suffering and why I was in this tremendous suffering. And many ones was calling on I, they were worshiping I. And I am thankful for all the ones who was calling on I, because they really helped I to come awake. Because of the tremendous suffering, I was curled up in balls on the floor for many years, and I could not understand it. And it was after when I left, and I left the States and I went back home to Jamaica, and I said I need to take time out to figure out my suffering and to get to the root of the core of my suffering and why. And this when I had an experience in Jamaica, when I went to the energy, the core of the energy, and the self, the I mommy self was healing I, pull I out of the body and was playing energy balls with I. And this was when I started coming more and more into realization, and the self was telling me to relax, it's okay. Because I'm telling you, I was stressed out. I couldn't sleep. I was sitting up because the gods was fighting me, and I was sitting up for years. Even now, I still sit up. I don't lay down. For years, I haven't laid down. I just sit up just like you see me like this. And every time I would be dozing off, I had a Shiva, a Shambo, who was helping me, and he would come and help me sometimes, and it would prop me to get me to wake back up. It was tremendous suffering, but I did not understand my suffering. I did not understand my suffering. And so I do want to thank, all the INIs who was reaching out to I, even when I was in unawareness of myself, because it helped me because of the pain and the suffering, and so many ones was pulling on to me. It helped me to come awake faster, because I needed to stop my suffering. And so now that I'm in awareness of myself, and I know myself, and I know my destiny, so this is why I advocate for myself, and I stand up for all myself, which are the fractals, the souls, and they are all the souls are in alignment with I right now. Um and so now it's just all the ones, the baby self of all the souls who are in the world. And so all the ionized know to just make alignment with the I self soul. So you don't need to call on any gods, because all the souls are feminine. They don't belong to God, because God is a different energy. The masculine is a different energy from the feminine. Remember, the masculine is magnetic, and the feminine is electric. Yeah. So the soul does not belong to God, it belongs to the feminine self. And so God has created a violation against I. This is why I'm bringing them to justice, and so they will stop doing evil, and so order will be restored. Truth will be restored, so all ionized can know truth. So pretty soon, many ones will start coming into more self knowing, because all the souls have been liberated from the gods, and they're within the I mommy self. Yes, and so cause all of the souls are in fractal, so they have to be in remember to return back to being a puzzle, to be one whole. This is how I am gonna be one whole self, when all this aspect of myself has returned back to I. All right, so thank you for your question, and thank you again for reaching out to I want the ionized to know that they can ask me any question. So when I am standing up to the gods or to evil human beings, you don't need to be afraid of I, because many ones are afraid of I, and it's only because they try to harm I, and they are faced with either the masculine self or the feminine self. All depends on how powerful they are. Um, yeah. So I have the masculine protecting eye, and I have the feminine protecting eye. So whatever energy is coming at eye, there is a self to counteract it. And this is the only reason why, and because some ones, their mind is impure, and if they connect with I, the self will purify their mind. And I am always advocating for the dissolution of the ego, and the ego does not want to be dissolved, but the I have to stand up to the I ego and fight. Yeah, this is the greatest deception that no one has ever taught you, that you're being imprisoned by your own mind, the device that you are wearing. And so if everyone can come to this knowing and know that the battle that we fight is with our mind. All is the I self, every demon, every monster, it is the I in taking those form. And how do you take command? By dissolving them. Yeah. So this is why I tell all of my clones out there fighting against I am dissolving them. I tell them straight up. Yeah, I said I have no alliance to any of I egoic nature. I dissolve them because you have been fighting a war against I, and I take command. So don't be afraid. Don't be afraid, because all is myself, and every one of my dual nature and my evil, demented clones in here, I am dissolving every last one of them, because it is time that only the real and true selves will be left back. Yeah. And we will move to harmony as one self, moving together in harmony. Yes. Much honor, much gratitude. This is why they are hiding the scopes that they are seeing through. When certain things are happening, they cut it offline, because they don't want people to see the merger that's happening. Yeah, the merger is happening, and everyone can watch this. But the scopes that NASA and them are using, um, when certain thing mergers are happening, like now, right, there's this merger happening right now, they are shutting their devices off. So you hear now they're saying that, oh, they have this AI thing that they're gonna put into the into the computer, that whenever ones are talking, if you mention Israel or if you mention anything, they're what they're going to target you. They want, they have a plan for us. Yeah, so we have to stand up and fight against them. It's time to stand up to government now. Yeah, and tell them that we no longer want to be governed by government, because they're an evil entity, they're an evil corporation, and we no longer give them power. Yes, you can denounce them, you can take back your power, because you give them power, you're voting for them. Don't vote for any government. Everybody must rise up and say, no longer do we want to be governed by government. It's a crazy entity, an evil entity. Yeah. And so, yes, so this is it, that's happening. And so everyone has to play their role, you know what I'm saying, to help, because I mean, I am playing my role by defending the I, and you can play your role by standing up to this government, and every voices come together, and demand for life to be free, for this solution of government, for us to have community coalition, you know, where no prisons. Why do we have prisons? Prisons have not helped human beings. We do not need prisons. We need retreat. We need retreat centers wherein if one have a sick mind, then we are there to help them, to get a pure mind, to give techniques. You know what I'm saying? We need community farming, community sustainability, everything we're doing together as a community, where everything is free for everyone. So one can work on dissolution of their ego, and one can learn and focus on creating balanced creation. Why are we creating all these evil things? We can now start creating things of balance, where we're not fighting against each other, where we are all in unison, you know, for everyone to have everything that one needs. No, government needs to be dissolved before we can do this. Yeah, it's time now. So much honor, much gratitude to all the INIs. I am depending on all the INIs to do their share. You are very important. Don't let government tell you that you're not important. Want to take away your sovereign right. You're a sovereign being. Claim your sovereignty and stand up to government. They must be dissolved. And this is what I am fighting right now. As you see, if you listen to my channel, I was fighting against the God and bringing them to court. Now I am doing the same thing with this evil human being, the government that are running the world. Yeah, I am standing up to them. I am fighting a case for against them, and I will win. I must win. There is no choice, because I must be liberated and I must be free. And I must dissolve all of my egoic nature. Yeah, because I am sovereign. I am primal light. This dream is temporary. This is an imagination creation. We cannot stay here forever. This is an imagination, please. Remember this. We're visitor. Let's create something better. Let's everyone come awake, and let's create harmony, equanimity, balance, purity, that we're all of the I and I selves as one, moving in harmony. We each of aspect of the self, every soul is different from the next aspect. Every fractal is different. It's a different that makes up the whole. So even though all of this is myself, then everyone have a different expression. But we are expressing in harmony to each other, where we are not fighting against each other, but we are in equanimity, we're in balance with each other. Yeah, this is how we have to do. We have to work together in harmony. We have to learn to do this. And government is in our way. They are an obstruction to our evolution. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. And I will see you soon. Much honor to the INIs. I am primal light, prepared for this dream, duality existence in the shattered fractal state as Auset, Maat, Aten Ra. Thank you so much for clicking this video. Thank you for watching with I. So, okay, hold on. Someone do wrong. Spidey. We have already won. They keep, no matter how many false time loops they create, they cannot stop us. Yes, yes, victory, victory. We are the ones who exist outside of time. Yes, victory, victory. We cannot lose. We are God I self. Much respect and gratitude. Thank you so much, Durag. This is Spidey. You know, sometimes I am not good at pronouncing Durag, Dor. Okay. Thank you so much for your comment, and thank you so much for your confirmation from that. Victory, victory to the I. Much honor, much gratitude. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.